everybody, how's it going? Stout Man coming back at you again today, and guess what? I went and raided the $5 bin again. First I went to Best Buy and picked up a couple of things that were $5, and next up, the one other thing that I got was $5. I got off of Amazon. So yeah, you can find $5 pickups just about anywhere, but typically it's going to be Amazon, it's going to be Best Buy, so I figured why not, instead of splitting them up and having one $5 pickup in one video, just put all the $5 Blu-rays into one pile and talk about them, because, you know, I like to raid that $5 bin every now and then. So yeah, I'll start with the Best Buy pickups, because these were some interesting titles that were recently $5. You know, titles that aren't normally in the $5 bin. So when I saw them hit the $5 bin, I was all over that. First up, we have Movie 43, which a lot of people hated. This is one of those movies that is almost universally reviled. People think it's one of the worst movies ever. They think it's not funny. It's stupid. Blah 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 blah. You know, I've heard all kinds of horrible things about this movie, and that's why I wasn't necessarily immediately interested in seeing it. But I did want to see what made everybody hate this movie so much, because, you know, from a glance, it didn't really seem like it was a bad movie. It didn't really seem like it was a horrible movie, not nearly as bad as everybody made it out to be. So when I actually watched it last year with my friend Skinslip, lo and behold, I'm laughing my ass off throughout this thing and wondering why everyone hates it so much. It's honestly a hilarious movie that does a lot of things right, and it's also kind of a bit of a commentary on the Hollywood system itself and the way that movies are made in Hollywood. So I don't know if people just didn't get that aspect of it, the whole subtext to it. I mean, it felt like it was somewhat blatant to me, but maybe it wasn't as blatant as I thought it was. Maybe it's just blatant to me because I have more experience with that kind of thing and understand more about the Hollywood system than most people do. I don't know, because I don't even, I mean, compared to other people, compared even to like Skinslip, I wouldn't say that I know more than he does, or even as much as he does in regards to that topic. But I was still able to pick up on the pretty heavy subtext and the pretty heavy condemnation of the Hollywood system that you will find in Movie 43, even though it is just a, you know, a clip show, essentially, a series of vignettes. The vignettes in it are absolutely hilarious, and they plumb the depths of comedians to make this happen, and they got a lot of greats in here. So yeah, I didn't have a problem with that whatsoever. It was absolutely hilarious. Some vignettes were more ridiculous than others, like absolutely outrageously ridiculous. But there was also something about that made it feel more interesting to me, because here it was like, clearly they're just trying as hard as they can to be as ridiculous as they can, but knowing that there's that subtext behind the base story in the movie, the base element that gives it its title, it made me kind of think maybe they're intentionally making these vignettes more and more ridiculous to kind of show you the depths of depravity that studio exec will go to in order to try and make some money. So yeah, I felt like there was something to that, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, regardless, I thought this was hilarious, and I thought it was a really good movie in regards to, you know, the subtext and everything. So yeah, maybe I got it. I feel like I'm one of the people who got the movie, and then not everybody else did. Next up, we have one that you probably will, I don't know if you'll ever see this again for $5. Maybe you will. Maybe I'm totally wrong about this, but it's one of those rare ones that's like, it's not a rare title, mind you. It's just, it's one of those titles that I'm pretty sure it's a Best Buy exclusive, and I'm pretty sure it's one of those, what do you call them? What do you call them? When the studio has a bunch of titles that they aren't really totally confident in putting out on their own, but they just release a simple little throwaway release of it. You know what I mean? You know how like The Apartment, the Blu-ray release of The Apartment, it isn't exactly easy to find, but it's also not exactly very expensive. It's that kind of thing, where it's in the $10 to $15 range typically, and you don't expect to ever see it drop below that. You don't expect to ever see it drop into a $5 bin. And yet here it was. Throw Mama from the Train, which I remember finding fairly funny when I was a kid, but I feel like even when I was a kid I was a little bit too young for this one. So I, you know, knowing how quotable it is and knowing how funny it is and how many people love this movie, I wanted to pick it up for $5 just so I could revisit it, honestly. And hey, revisit it on Blu-ray. So yeah, this comes with a couple of special features too. Crafting a Dark Comedy, Why Do You Hate Your Mother, The Night Was, deleted scenes, and theatrical trailer. This is, I mean, it stars some of the funniest people on the planet, honestly. Like, you got Billy Crystal there, you got Danny DeVito, and what's her name? God, you know her face. You know who she is. Ramsey. Anne Ramsey. Why? Why did I forget that? Anne Ramsey. She, if I remember correctly, she also played the head crook in The Goonies. So yeah, that's what I remember her from. But yeah, she's a memorable face. She's got this dark comedy thing down, and well, this is definitely a dark comedy. And it's been a long time since I've seen this, so I wanted to go back and check it out for the first time in like 15 years. So yeah, $5 for Throw Mama from the Train. Last but not least is the Blu-ray that I got for $5 from Amazon. And this one might seem like a little bit of an odd choice, but trust me when I say that there's a reason I got it, and that it actually is quite enjoyable. Season of the Witch, starring Nicolas Cage and Ron Perlman. Now, you might note that this came with a beautiful shiny slipcover for $5. When I saw that it came with the slipcover, and that the slipcover was nice and shiny, all around shiny, I was really blown away, because I was not expecting that for a $5 title. Especially not one that's been out as long as this one has. So yeah, I guess nobody liked this, and they still have copies with the fucking slipcover floating around. It's hard to believe, but yeah. A lot of people did not like this. They felt like it was a bad, not very good movie. I thought it was absolutely excellent. The story felt very ridiculous. It's very corny. It's one of those corny action, sci-fi, fantasy kind of movies that, you know, it pulls more from the people who grew up watching like Mystery Science Theater 3000, who grew up watching all these crappy movies on Sci-Fi Channel on Sunday afternoon, or on TBS or TNT or USA when they do their Monster Vision on TNT. You know, they had all those different kind of shows to show you all these really not that good, corny, cheesy movies, but there was still something about them. That, I feel like that this movie pulls from that kind of concept very well. And honestly, the story in it is very solid. That's what I remember the most about it. That's what really stuck out to me, is that the story is quite solid. The acting maybe not perfect, but Nicolas Cage does a pretty good job. Ron Perlman, of course, as always, infallible. The man can do no wrong. And, you know, it's got a solid beginning, middle, and end, and I really enjoyed it. So why not pick it up on Blu-ray for $5? I felt like it was really good. I don't know, a lot of people hated it, but I didn't hate it. I thought it was really good. So yeah, very glad to have this in the slipcover too. Was not expecting that. Didn't know that they still came in the slipcover for this old of a movie. Like I said, I mean, there must just be a few still laying around out there. Anyways, that's it for today. That's all the $5 titles that I picked up recently. That was all that I was able to find in the $5 bin that was worth plundering. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Peace.